Hello, everyone. Hello, this is Ellen Campbell with Campbell's Creation. Welcome in for another story time. Today, I want to tell y'all about the fun me and my siblings had during flooding and when my parents and stuff was alive. And I want to also tell y'all about working in a cotton field. This one will be by picking cotton. And let me begin. Um, I was small. My parents had our home built when I was about 3 years old, I'm thinking. And in our area, it's sort of like a low zone. And over the years, there used to be floodings. Hi, June Hanson. Welcome in. Good morning. Thank you. She said, good morning, Miss Ellen. And during these flooding times, we would have to pack up our things from the home and move out. And one occasion, I remember we built a raft. We had a wooden raft that floated on the water. And I had never seen that before. But my older sibling them, they seen this before, and they took this raft, and we went down to the little river I've been telling y'all about around the property. And everybody used to call it a drug ditch because it was dug through by a machine, I guess. Honey, we had snakes in the area and everything, but we as kids got in that water and we went there shaking that water up. Everybody had on their underwear. It was so funny. We just jump in the water, get back out, jump in the water again. But by me being little, I didn't just jump out there. When I jumped out there, I caught the raft. I jumped where I could hold on to the raft because at that time, I didn't know how to swim. And my mama and daddy at home packing stuff up, and we all in the water, jumping in the water. They call it skinny dipping, but we wasn't quite naked. We had on our underwears or some shorts or something. And boy, we had so much fun that day. All I can think about now, cause I'm grown, is wow, we was crazy. It was water moccasins in that water, and we knew that. And we were like, we didn't care. Come on, they want to play with us. Dive in the water again. Poosh. My brother and them knew how to cannonball in the water and stuff. I'm like, ain't nothing gonna come through here with all that noise. We had some amazing fun, y'all. And we all played together. We all had good times together. And when it didn't flood, my uncle had a trailer frame, a big trailer frame where nothing wasn't on it but the ties and the tongue. And honey, we would get that thing. Somebody get in the front and hold the tongue, the guy that could keep it in the road, and the rest of us will push that thing up to the blacktop road and all the way back down to the river. Back up to the blacktop river all day long, running and pushing. At the end of the day, we was tired, but we had fun. And the older kids, they could push a lot faster than the little kid, and I'm like, let me get out the way. Let me get out the way, because if you don't get out the way and you walk up there the wrong way, that trailer gonna run over your foot. It gonna do something to you. And I did get my foot run over one time, but we loved it as a game. and we all played together. There was even a time we used to play softball in the backyard, and we used a tennis ball to play it. And all of us had a base, and some was in the backfield. And we didn't have a baseball bat. We had a board, a plank, and we had so much fun. Even to this day, I can remember to buy. What's that? I can remember to buy those little yellow tennis balls. And it's just such a joy to do and have. And I loved it. I loved it. Until I had an accident. It was my turn to play, and somehow my sister was in the way, and they pitched the ball. And when I swung at the ball, it wound up hitting my sister in the face. Boy, I cried, 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 cried. I said, "Oh my God." Oh, my sister was hurting, and I threw that plank down, and I was crying. I said, "I don't want to play no more." Because I hurt my sister. Hello, kid. I can't pronounce all that, but hello and welcome in. Hello, Zach. Welcome in. Are you on hospice? No, I'm not on hospice. I ain't on nothing actually. I just received the community help. Are you on? Okay, I read that. Hi, kid. Hi, welcome in. And y'all come in just in time because I'm finna go on and tell y'all some cotton field stories. I was about maybe 12 years old. My brother was, he 3 or 4 years older than me. And my baby sister, she 1 year behind me. And hello, hello. And we got out of school and we was on the school bus headed home. And before we got home, the bus stopped at a house to let some children off to go home. And come to find out, the father was out there and he was looking for somebody, like, somebody want to help pick some cotton? I'm paying or something. Me, my sister, and my brother got our books and we got off that bus because we could walk home. It was in walking distance for us. And we got off of that bus, we jumped the ditch. And when we jumped the ditch, we grabbed them big old long cotton sacks and we got in that field. He ain't let nobody go home till you finish that field because he was gonna lose his cotton and needed it picked. And he was a black man. We got them sacks, me, my sister, and brother. We were like, we gonna get our own sack. So we got our own sacks and we went through that field picking cotton like that was the last day for the cotton. And we grabbing, when you picking cotton, your hands moving. You ain't out there playing around. We picking that cotton. And I didn't fill my sack, but my brother filled his sack, and my sister had a little in her sack. So we was like, fill up my brother's sack, pack it down first, and once we pack his down, then if anything was left, it went into my sack. Hi, I see you, kid. I see you. Okay, much love for you, much love. And once we got the sacks weighed and stuff, we made some good money. But we was in trouble because we didn't tell our parents, our mom and daddy, we were gonna get off that bus. And we was kind of scared to go home, and it was black dark. We walked home in the dark. And the thing is, we stuck together, held one another hands and stuff. And and when we held one another hands, we made it home. And when we went through that door, my daddy was sitting in his rocking chair, and my mama was on the couch, like probably like where these children at? When we went through the door, we gave our brother the money and tell him, you give it to him. They were like, you give it to him. We had to pick who gonna give the money. So we took what we made and gave it to our parents. And we was like, we're sorry we got out the bus and didn't tell you, but Mr. Reed needed somebody to pick cotton and we did it and made this money. Don't y'all need it? And we gave it to our parents, and they didn't fuss at us not one time. Boy, I was so happy. We went home and bathed and ate and went to bed. We went to bed and it's like, thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. And there's another time I was chopping cotton for the Allen family. And all of us was out there, and at that time my father was the supervisor of it, I guess. And I had planned to do something else for my weekend. But nope. We had to go back to the field for that weekend because they were saying rain is coming. And we was chopping cuckabugs, weed plants, and Johnson grass. And you have to have your hoe very sharp. As we going down through the fields, cutting the weeds and stuff, everybody just talking, having a real good time, talking about something that happened in their life and stuff. And the younger kids, we're just listening. You better not say nothing to nobody grown then. But we still had fun because we was listening at them and the way they think and what they were saying, what they actually let come out their mouth. It was a good time. Chopping cotton wasn't always bad. It was just a way of life to live after slavery was already, put here. And I have so many stories about chopping cotton. I mean, I liked it. Yes, I did. It helped pay some bills for me, and it's a way of living. And if I had to do it today, I would be out there doing it. I would, even when you're chopping cotton and you have to use the bathroom and no bathroom up there, let me tell you how it works. You go up to the truck and you get behind one of the tires, but you walk out from it and dig a hole in the ground. Do not do your business on top of the ground. Dig a hole. Do your business. Take your hoe and cover it up. That's how we did things. And I really, really enjoyed it. But the walking up and down the field, cutting the grass, and then let somebody holler snake. When they holler snake, everybody clipped the field out. That was some of the funniest stuff. People that you thought couldn't move fast, old people, they was out of that field. And when you look at them move, you're gonna fall out laughing. You will laugh, laugh, laugh. Some of the funny days. Yes, yes, yes. And you can think about it, how they move it. And when they say, I have arthritis and all this, you said snake. They don't forget about arthritis. It's kind of funny though, but we had fun in a lot of stuff we do because My family mostly have com is it comic uh a funny sense of way of responding to stuff. We keep the laughing going. We don't talk about nobody, but we'll say, "Oh, let me try that move. Can I move like that?" It'd be so funny. I can remember so many days. I remember when I first learned to chop cotton. I was about 12 years old, and my father still let me go out there. And when I went, he made my younger sister go too. And boy, let me tell you, you get on one end and you look down that row, and that row look like it's a mile and a half long. You going first thing you pop in your mind, would I ever see the end? But you'll make it to the end. You just keep going. And honey, we did some walking. We walk. You never carry your hoe across your shoulder. That was a rule. That was a no. You cannot carry that hoe. And you had to keep it in your hand ready to cut some grass with it. And looking at the end of those rows and walking, especially when the cotton is low on the ground, you can clean it out more. And we cut grass. Some fields was bad, some was good. We cut, walk that mile and a half, take another row at the end to come back to where the water was. And when we walked that extra mile and a half, we definitely needed a drink of water. Those rows were so long. I mean, I have seen some long cotton rows. And then when it came time to pick the cotton, it depended on who you worked it for. Some people had the cotton picker machine. Let me see what they call that thing. What do they call that thing? I know one is a cotton bound that cut the grains, and the other is a cotton picker. That's all I knew to call it, a cotton picker. That they drives down the road and all the cotton shoots into the basket in the back, and the ones that didn't have that machine had to get their cotton picked by hand. And a lot of times when there are people paying to pick cotton by hand, if we was not busy, we in that field picking that cotton. That was the way to make extra money. And it was me, my brother, and my younger sister mostly going do extra stuff. All my older siblings, they didn't fall for that. They didn't do that. They only did what was necessary. But me and my my two younger siblings, I said three. I forgot one of them is me. Ooh, we would go do that stuff. We would cut people yards for them. We would just do what we could. And when we had extra money, we gave it to our parents. They wasn't gonna let us mess up a lot of money. And then when we go to them and say we need something, yeah, we had it. Me, my sister, and my brother had collected so much money, and we gave it to my mama. Give it to my mama. Till that one time we had to give it to our daddy coming in late at night. That was so funny. So funny. It just make me think about a lot of stuff. Just picking cotton for people and chopping cotton. We even chopped cotton for the Sanders family too. Their rows wasn't very long. It was decent rows, and it was nice. Some patches we covered had gravel in it due to they had a driveway there in history at some point. Hi, Gladys, the confident quilter. How you doing? She says, hello, everybody. Thank y'all for being here with me. And I can just remember chopping cotton every day during the summertime. We had these big old Mexican hats that we would buy from the Chinese stores. I guess they was Mexican hat. They might be Chinese hat too. I don't know. Hi, at a QA. Oh, mm. That always pop up and get me. I ain't. Well, that was funny. I read that out loud. Um, I can remember one time. I don't know who was in charge, but we had a truck coming around that picks up everybody that want to go chop cotton to make money. Honey, we was up for 6 o'clock. We done ate, got our clothes on, and out the door. And we had to have our own hoe. And everybody grabbed their hoe. It was sharp. We got on the truck because my brother knew how to sharpen hoes. We got on that truck and we went way out to no man's land. And this all in Mississippi, y'all. We went out back behind trees, bushes, way in the country, to some more mile-long cotton field rows. And we was out there cutting and chopping and doing what we had to do. Then at 12, they'll give us 1 hour break where we can sit down and eat our sandwich that my older sister had in a bag for all of us. And we would eat and drink some water. And when time to go back, we was ready to go back. And we got out there and we chopped that grass from that cotton. And then again, you look down that row and you be like, oh my God, I got to walk that far. But then I learned, don't look down that road. Don't look down that road. Keep your eyes on what's in front of you. So I started doing that. And then when you get to the end and you look back, you done left everybody behind you. We would get on one of their rows. And I would get on somebody's row. So when they're chopped out, they'll jump on somebody's row. So I would jump on somebody's row and chop it all the way back to the end. And when they get to where I started it, they'll be done. And the person I help would get on somebody's row and do the same thing. And that's how we worked it in the field. And it's best to work together when you're doing stuff like that. If you work on off and get to the end, you help somebody else to get to the end, and then they help somebody else to get to the end, and repeated process. Then we're all still together. And then we can all start at the end and go back together. And when we do that and go back together and I look back, everybody's still back there. I said, oh, they back there talking. And I said, I better slow down a little bit or move a little slower because I'm going to be woe out. I'm running up and down these roads and then get on somebody else's road to help them out. Yeah, I had to slow down. You slow down, give your body a cooling down period, and then you can help somebody else again because you're going to be sweating like somebody poured water on you. And you let your body cool down, it feels so good. Once you get to the end, repeated process. Grab another row if everybody on the end. But once you go down and come back, you go into that truck for some water. Because if you didn't go to the truck and get you a drink of water, you're going to pass out in that field. And at that time, me and my sibling them, we had our own cups too. And my sister had the bag with our stuff in it, and we'd get our cups and we'd drink our water. Because there was some people out in the field I just was not finna drink behind. And I'm a little child. My sister knew it. So I thank God for that. And we just enjoyed it. And the money we make, we didn't hold on to it. We gave it to our parents. And at that time, I think we was doing good because we wasn't really bothering them for anything. And when we got paid, our name was on the envelope with our payment in it. And the best thing we could do with it then, we counted it. We know how much it was, and when we got home, we could write it down. We could write down what we made and see how much we made for the whole season. And when we got through and saw how much we made for the season, I was like, okay, guess what that money was used for, y'all? Can anybody guess? Let me help y'all. Before school start, my mama took us shopping. And I'm like, what we going shopping for? Why is we in this store? You know, we are children. Like, why are we in this store? This store called money. My mama was buying us uniforms to go to school so we'll look pretty. And I can remember getting on the bus when I was 5 years old. 5 years old, getting on that bus, and I got on these black, shining baby doll shoes with some pretty ruffled socks and a beautiful dress. My hair all plaited up, looking pretty with barrettes in it and stuff. And I'm like, okay. When I got on the bus, honey, when I got on the bus, the driver got off the bus and took me out my mama's arms and carried me on the bus. And I sat down and didn't move. And that is kind of the process of what took place growing up when we was chopping cotton. Our parents gave us money to go shopping for school clothes. And when we shopped for school clothes, we didn't buy the high stuff. I looked on the clearance rack. I bought from the clearance rack, and I would get me a couple of outfits, and I would hang them outfits in my closet and take some of my jeans I had, and I would take them jeans and cut them if I wanted them cut at the knee, and I would hem them on the sewing machine. I would starch them and iron them and get me a t-shirt to go with them, and I hung it in the closet. That was another outfit. And I kind of did it like that. I went to the thrift store too, and I got a few items, something that I would wear to school, and that's how I did it. Wash it, starch it, iron it, and my creases did not move. Didn't move at all. They stayed in them pants, and when I went to school, I was clean. I was just ready to learn, eager to learn. And my best, what they call that, mm, when you studying math and science and what they call those, my best I can't even say, epidemic. My best epidemic charge was, oh Lord, my choice was biology. That's what I'm trying to say. I was so smart in biology. Oh, I could have just ate biology up and wrapped around my finger and thrown it in the sky and made sunshine. I loved the biology so much. I was in the class. I was exempt from final examinations. I didn't have to take the final examination because my score was 100 on everything I made. 100, 100, 100, 100, 100, 100. And then the students in the class was like, how you get that? How you do that? Would you teach me? I said, sure, but you're going to have to sit at my table. And when I explained that stuff to the young lady, she understood, and I told her, pay attention to every word that pops out the teacher's mouth, and that's what you do. And when I told her that, she listened and she paid attention. And when she told us to break down the chromosome, you know how they give you problems to do to tell you what sex the baby gonna be? We had that stuff too. And when I did mine, I got 100, 100, 100. And I showed her how to do it. And I explained what it meant. Because if you can't comprehend the problem that they giving to you and understand what they asking you for, you ain't gonna get the answer right. So that was fun too at school, and I used to love to wear heels. I was in junior high and I was wearing heels, y'all. I had them big old, is it 6 inch or 8 inch? I had some big heels on my feet. When I went to school, I was styling. I used to ask my mama, can I wear your suit? What they call that suit? It had that suit wasn't cheap. That was like a $80 or $90 suit. And this is back in the day. And I used to borrow my mama's suit and wear my heels. And I had a way of making her suit fit me. And I wore that suit and I strutted that hall like I was a teacher. I sure did. I had some kind of fun. And then when I got tired of wearing the heels, I went back to my tennis shoes. And then our school at that time was letting us wear the flip-flops. At that time, they was making those nice, strong flip-flops where they didn't just tear loose easily. And we used to buy a bunch of them flip-flops. They pink, yellow, green. I used to love them. And that is basically some of the ways of how I growed up. I enjoyed it. And like I say, it's lots of snakes in Mississippi. You go to Mississippi, prepare to meet a snake. We have rattlesnakes. We have cottonmouth moccasins. We have garden snakes. And we have the black king snakes. We have the little green grass snakes. And we have the stinging snake. I think we call the stinging snake the one they jet black with a red belly. And when you see them jet black with a red belly, the first thing I do, I take a sharp hoe and I hit his head. And when you hit that head, you better be prepared because he raising that tail up. And when I hit the head, I'm already got the hoe back up and I hit that tail. Once you hit the head and chop on that tail, you might as well tote them on off and throw them somewhere. I really enjoyed being at home. We had a big shade tree right on our property line, and we put a picnic table under that tree. We built it ourselves. We put that table out there. We had a barbecue grill out there under that shade tree, and during the summertime, if the house was too hot, we went outside and sat under that shade tree all day. But I'm going to tell you. We had to clean the house first. We had to make sure the house is clean, the beds are made, the dishes washed, the floors are mopped, they swept and mopped, and the stove is clean. We had to make sure the dinner table was clean. We did it all. Once the whole house was clean, one point that was my job. I cleaned the whole house. My baby sister ain't had to do nothing. I did the cooking, the cleaning, and did it all. I even did the laundry. And y'all know how I did that laundry? I did it on a scrub board and a number 3 wash tub. And if y'all don't know what that number 3 wash tub is, Google it. It's a galvanized number 3 wash tub. And I did it on one of those rug bowls. I washed my mama clothes. I washed my daddy clothes. I washed my clothes. And I washed my baby sister clothes. I had 2 number 3 tubs. And we had a black pot where if it was cold, I could boil the water with a fire under it in the big black pot. And I could dip with the, what they call that pail? It was a galvanized pail that you could wash your foot in if you wanted to, but they call it a foot tub. That's what I think it is, a foot tub. You could take that foot tub with it clean and dip that boiling water out and pour some in your laundry water, and it was nice and warm scrubbing them clothes. I washed everybody's clothes. I had a second tub. I threw the wash clothes into the rinse water. That's what I had it for, to rinse the clothes out. And I scrub and throw all the clothes in there till I was done. Once I was done, I walked over to the rinse tub and I had to bend over, rinse them clothes out with the soap and stuff in it, and put them in the foot tub and carry the clothes around to the back of the house, which I was on the side of the house doing, and I had to carry it on around to the back and put it on the long clothesline we had. I did it because my mother and father was old, and my mama was diabetes and sick and couldn't see too good, and my daddy was like 80 years old or something like that, and he couldn't do that either, and he wasn't gonna do it no way. He was a man. So I got up and do it because it wasn't nobody but my mama and my daddy and me and my younger sister was left at home then. I did a lot of stuff, and I can just remember those things. And I'm glad I can remember like that, because most people that have brain surgery, if it don't go right or something happen, they memory be way off. But mine's, I can just remember things that happened doing the laundry. And when I'm done, dump out all the water, wash out all the tubs and totes and stuff, and go in the house. After I put everything away, go in the house. I even had to put out the fire under the black pot, as they said, the cooking pot or which pot or whatever they call it. And I kind of enjoyed that because somebody had to do it. And I did it for my mother and father until I got married and left home. I married at 16, y'all. The age of 16. You hear me? I married at 16 years old, and I stayed married to that man for 25 years. 25 years. When I married him, everybody thought I was pregnant. And I looked at them. I said, you would think that, wouldn't you? I said, but no, I'm not pregnant. I said, I just chose him. I want to marry him. And it was wonderful. It was wonderful. Even when I got married, I was still able to go home. I went home. I helped my mother. Sometime my husband used to work passing by my mama's house. And sometimes I just get up in the morning with him and ride. He'll drop me off at my mama and them house, and I would stay with my mom and them till he get off for his break for lunch. Yep. When he get off and come in, I would be ready to go. And me and my mama was sewing then. We was making quilts and stuff, laying out the fabrics and stuff, and she enjoyed it. She wasn't just sitting in the house not doing anything. I was going by there, and my younger sister, I don't know where she was. She was in the wind. She was gone. She was gone. She was leaving them at home by themselves. And I went there. If something need cleaning, I clean my mom and them house up. Dishes in the sink, I'll wash them dishes. Wash them and put them up. Dry them off, put them in the cabinets. And then if my mama needed to cook something to eat, she could go in there and do it because she got something clean to do it. Because I knew she was sick and she was weak. And I would go by and check on them as often as I could. And I thank God for that because my husband allowed me to do it. And even though he's no longer with me now, I still miss him. I miss him because I learned a lot from him as well. Yep. And I just enjoy it. Enjoy it. So that's all for this video, y'all. I'm going to end it here. I thank y'all for coming in. And I thank y'all for listening. I can't. Oh, okay. I thank y'all for listening. And do share this video for me. Share it out so others can hear my story of growing up. And maybe they'll like to hear some more until I can start sewing again. I sure thank y'all for being here. Have a blessed day. Bye, y'all. Bye.